All right. So here with Charlie and Carla, the new project is the Violent Hour. Obviously, Carla Harvey's first foray since Butcher Babies, and I gotta say, it's really, really, really good. And I was even just playing it for our manager, Fozzie's manager, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, the singing is so great! No more Cookie Monster screaming. It's really, really good change for you, Carla."
I still have a little Cookie Monster in me. Not forever. I promise I'll bring it back at some point. But it's been so much fun. That's yeah. Can't you tell? I'm Cookie Monster
Blue
still.
Oh,
hair.
there you go. Because you got blue hair.
But I it was so much fun to sing, and like at first in the studio I was kind of like unsure, and then as time went on I was like, damn, it just became so much easier and easier, and I love singing now. I'm really proud of it.
Good.
Have you not ever sung like that before?
Not in a very long time. Butcher Babies, we did have a lot of very melodic choruses, but generally I did the lower harmonies.
Mm.
And but back in the day I would always sing. I was in, I was in school, I was in the, the chorus, and I played violin, and I was always in singing stuff. So I always sang pretty high when I was younger, and then I just stopped doing it. I haven't done it in so long. So finding like what I should be doing with my singing voice was kind of scary at first, or not even scary, just kind of a struggle. Like I didn't know
Confident.
like what to do, because
Mm, of
I'm very
course.
confident in my screaming and my lower stuff. Nowadays I can do that with my eyes closed, backwards, whatever. It's easy, it's second nature. But singing, I had to kind of just find that voice again. So it's been kind of a journey, but really fun.
It's like Charlie said, it's such a confidence thing, especially when you're singing one genre or style and going completely into another one. But it gives you so much more longevity, I think, and so much more of a mainstream appeal to be singing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And at the end of the day, too, I think it's all about what you want to do as an artist. And as a kid, I loved classic rock. I loved Guns N' Roses. I loved the Riot Girl stuff from the 90s, which is all singing. None of it is screaming like I've been doing. So I'm kind of being true to myself with this album. I also loved thrash metal and Pantera growing up, so I loved that stuff too. But like 16-year-old Carla was all about hard rock and singing and Guns N' Roses. So this stuff is very much an ode to teenage Carla.
Well, the cool thing is you're sitting next to your fiance, Charlie, who I think you've been on this show fucking 15 times at this point in every separate way, shape, or form.
Should be called Charlie. Talk is Charlie at this point.
Yeah, Charlie is Jericho at this point. You wrote all the music for this and you played all the instruments, which is so cool because I mean, I've known this for years, ever since we did that Metal Allegiance and you played piano on the Mother Love Bone tune. I mean, obviously you're with your future wife here and you want to see her succeed, but how much fun did you have writing these tunes? Because it's a little bit of a different style of music, but there's still some Anthrax riffs in there because we know you write most of the music for Anthrax as well. So, kind of how did you decide to start working on this project with Carla and writing these songs?
Well, when she departed, with her old band, um, she was pretty sad. She was
Pretty bummed out. I remember last year we went to the Stones together and it was pretty fresh, and you were bummed out. I don't think I'm out of line in saying that, as anybody would be.
No, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's the truth. You put your heart and soul into something for 15 years, and then it's like when it's over, you go through a lot of question marks, and there's a lot of
Mm,
attached to leaving a situation.
because I think the thing about her is like she started this thing, and wow, I'm not a part of the thing that I started, and I think she had to get to the point where it was like, okay, I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to start new again. When I hate to use the cliche, one door closes, a bunch more will open, and that's
right.
exactly what happened. She found herself, And I would just say, okay, let's try and do this, see how this works out. The first song that we did was a song called Sex and Cigarettes, which I've had that song for about 10, 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what to do with it. And then she heard it and she's like, that's good. And boom, it became a song. And then as soon as I heard her voice on that song, it opened up, you know, the expressway, and all these other ideas started to flow in. The same thing happened with me when John Bush joined Anthrax. I heard his voice, bam, floodgates open, and I just started writing these songs to fit that voice. And that's exactly what happened with Carla. And it just became more and more important to me to do this. And then I could see her spirits being lifted, and she was happy again, and she found her voice. And that's what music should do. Remember when we saw Mick Jagger, Midnight Rambler, the music?
Oh, yeah.
I told that story to Ronnie Wood, and he's like, well, that's what it is, man. You know?
What was the story? The music just took him away?
Remember I said to you, look at Mick right now. Look what's going on. And you said the music just took him over.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what happened. Here's this 81-year-old man who's not 81 really.
Yeah, the music took him away. So did you have to, and I want to talk about Ronnie Wood later on, but did you have to convince Carla to sing like you're singing, or was it something you just jumped in, Carla, and went, I'll just try it this way?
Well, I knew that I didn't want to. I knew that I wanted to explore different ways of using my voice. He's been pressuring me to sing more for like years.
Because I know she could. That's
right.
And I think sometimes when you're a metal screamer, people, they want to hear you do one thing. And if you're not doing that one thing all the time, you know, you can be judged a bit. And sometimes you don't feel cool enough if you're not doing that one thing constantly and making it heavier and heavier and heavier. So for me, it was like a mental block to get over, just to use my voice in a different way. And then in the studio, I really started to have fun with it, and just, especially when I was doing Hell or Hollywood, I think it's such a, like an Aerosmithy, Guns N' Rosey type of song, which I love both of those bands so much. And then when I started using my voice in the way that I thought the song should be, and I realized that I could do it, I was just like, I felt, I don't know, just like everything was unleashed. And I felt,
you got the confidence.
Yeah. And I felt, I don't know.
But see, that's the thing too. If a song, like there's some songs that are going to be on the next EP that may require that type of vocal, you know, which I think, there is a song or two that may require her to be more of that guttural type of thing. But these songs didn't really require that.
I didn't want to shoehorn guttural screams into songs when it shouldn't be there. I wanted to let songs be what they wanted to be. And
I think too, not to interrupt you, but as a fan of the Violent Hour, and I would not have been as much of a fan if it was with the guttural screaming right out of the gate, because we know you can do that, and that's fine. This reminds me a lot. It's not the same type of music, but Avenged Sevenfold, one of my favorite bands. I got into them on City of Evil, which is when M Shadows stopped doing the screaming guttural vocals. Those first two records are okay, but to me, I really connected with them when he started to sing. And with you and the Violent Hour, it's like if you would have come out of the gate doing, Butcher Baby-esque vocals, that's cool. You guys did great with it. It was awesome. But this is, to me, where I started saying to my other musician friends, you got to check this out. Trust me, it's really, really good, because you are embracing, it's something new. Like for me in wrestling, whenever it's time to evolve, you leave the past behind and you do something new. And that usually opens up the door to more opportunities, I think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And like I said, it's been just a really fun journey. And now we've got shows booked and the EP's coming out. And I'm just, I don't know, I feel very light again, very, very happy.
Very vindicated, right? Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about these songs too. You mentioned the Hollywood, Hell or Hollywood. Let's talk about the Sick Ones. Because once again, I'm listening to this song. It comes out of the gate. It's killer. And there's a couple riffs in there where I was like, wow, That would be a great Anthrax riff. Do you ever have any issues with like, I should save this one? Or was it all, I'm writing for this project, Charlie, and I'm just going to continue doing this until we're finished with it?
Well, the last record that we wrote, this Anthrax record that will be out next year, I always try and write maybe 20 something songs. Then they're not all going to be used, but some of them will. But then I have some that are left over that are really good too. They just didn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when you're making a cake and you want to put all the delicious ingredients in, and then there's some ingredients that just don't go in. That's the way it was with this latest Anthrax record. And I had them, and I said, what do you think about this? Oh, that's great. That's great. Let's try and build on that. And between Carla and myself and like music, I would just do the whole thing. I would do a demo of everything and then let her hear it. And then she'd be like, this is great. And then we'd let Blair Daly hear it, who helped a lot with the vocal, the melodies and stuff like that. And he was like, this is great too. And then the three of us would just combine our thoughts and it became a song.
Yeah.
So some of these maybe have a touch of Anthrax,
I mean, how could they not?
I know.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely happy with Sick Ones. I think that song, originally it was more of a hardcore punk song, and then it turned into a new wave of British heavy metal, Motorhead meets Carla, and I love that song. It just has such a driving beat to it.
Yeah, I really liked it the first time that I heard it because it reminded me of Motorhead a lot, which I love. And so I definitely wanted to use it. And even that was a hard one for me at first when I was writing, because I'm like, man, how do you, like, I wanted to like tread lightly on the gutturals. Like I said, I didn't want to go in there and go completely guttural. So it was hard for me to find the right approach to that song, but I love it. And, the lyrics are about, kind of cutting toxic people out of your life and not letting anybody dull your shine, not, letting anyone dictate who you're going to be or what you're going to be anymore. I felt like there's a lot of times in my life where just to make the people around me feel comfortable or be whatever, I took a back seat to a lot of things. And that's what the song is about. And the tagline, cut the sick ones loose, is from a journal from, I think, like 1997 or 8 that I had. I have a bunch of journals upstairs in my room from my whole life, because I write everything down. And if I hear something, if someone says something that I love, I always write it down. And I've always wanted to use this in a song. So it was perfect. I was like, I'm finally going to use it. So
it was great. And then I had the idea of putting a lead on the song, and then thought of John 5 right away, because I just felt that he could put a sick lead on this song, which is what it needed, and when John heard it, he immediately got it, and he sent it back, and we were driving in the car listening to it, and we were smiling because it was so perfect. Everything that he put on there was just perfect.
Yeah, it's like wildest solo.
Yeah, it's just
it's
perfect.
So much fun. And then I loved getting, kind of doing the more like manic screaming in that, not the traditional gutturals that I do, but the kind of more like madhouse type of screaming. So it's so much fun.
The thing I like about this is you can tell just how excited that you are about this, and I don't know if liberating is the word, but it seems like you're really appreciating the fact you got to make this album, and people can see the new side of you.
I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful for everyone that contributed to it. I'm grateful to be able to do it. I'm grateful that people are like digging it. I mean, I think that like it's like pure joy. Like even I got a chance to film a music video at the Rainbow, and when I was on the phone with the manager talking about it, I was just like screeching, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just happy,"
Yeah.
Like a 16-year-old kid again, making music, and it's just like a different experience than I've felt in a very long time. I just feel so excited about every aspect of it. It's really cool to feel that way.
let's talk about the other video for Sick Ones where it's all you, which I love. There's like 5 Carlas running around, sitting on the couch together, and all that stuff. I just watched Sinners the other night. Have you guys seen that?
I saw it. Yeah.
Which one?
Sinners.
I haven't seen it.
So Michael B. Jordan plays twins, and they're like, it sure has gone, a long way from back in the day when you'd have to have the split screen and all that sort of stuff. For your video, I mean, the technology was so good. It literally looks like there's 5 of you sitting there in different various outfits and that sort of a thing. Yeah. Great idea.
I had the idea for it, and I really wanted it to be executed, and I wasn't sure that it could be done because I don't know. I love making music videos, and I'm when I write a song, when I write lyrics, I'm already have the music video in my head. I know what I want to do. I'm like, think about it very cinematically. So I knew what I wanted to do, and the director was like, I don't know. And then, he ended up making it happen. And I think it's really fun. And yeah, my favorite shot is the end where I'm like, fuck it, let's watch TV together.
Popcorn.
I wanted to flip, obviously the song is about cutting toxic people out of your life. But for the video, I kind of wanted to flip it on its head and kind of, play with the idea that we've got toxic parts of ourselves that sometimes we need to deal with and cut out, and some of our little personality traits. And so it's like you either got to cut them out or learn how to live with them peacefully, as I do in the video. So.
And you mentioned the video that you filmed at the Rainbow for Hell or Hollywood, and that is very much a Sunset Strippy type song.
Yeah.
Charlie, was that fun for you to try and, envelop a Slash mentality for writing something like this?
Oh, 100%. Like, one of our favorite bands is Guns N' Roses. And I took the influence of Guns N' Roses, which was Aerosmith, and I wanted to write a song that was around like the Toys in the Attic Rocks era, which like had some swag to it. And I got to play like a Joe Perry slide part, and I just went off on it and just had so much fun with that song. And the riff to me was very 70s, and I couldn't stop singing it. Remember when I first had it and I did the demo? It was so like important to me to hear it every moment of the day. Yeah. And then when that song was written, the vocals that came on that song, I was like, this is perfect. That's exactly what I heard,
I was kind of sweating bullets before it came out. Like a couple days before it came out, I'm like, oh my God, people are going to hate this. And they liked it. They liked it more than the Sick Ones, I think. And so I was like,
and I said, that's the worst when you do a new record, though. You spend so much time with it and you get to the point where like, no, they're going to hate it. It's going to suck. People are going to hate it.
I loved it. I loved it all along. I really loved it. And the lyrics for that song, they're literally about me moving to LA from Detroit, driving across the country with a paper map in 1990 and landing on the Sunset Strip and like taking it all in, and all the, the pitfalls that can happen to you when you're a young girl that moves from the Midwest to LA, by yourself. So the song is totally autobiographical, and I love it. I love the melody, everything. And I had to film it at the Rainbow, the music video. As like I said, when I was writing the song, I'm like, I'm going to make a music video at the Rainbow to do this song. And it happened.
Again, the Magliera is really...
Were they cool with you when you filmed in there?
So cool. I mean, I still can't believe it. Like I said, when I got the call that I could do it, I was like beside myself. And then they let us shoot there all day. And like, you have to understand, like he says, I love, one of my favorite bands is Guns N' Roses. No, my favorite band in the world of all time is Guns N' Roses. I was straight obsessed when I was a kid, so when you're an 11-year-old kid in the Midwest and you're watching music videos and seeing Guns N' Roses, like on the Sunset Strip going to the Rainbow, I'm like, well, that's it for me. I'm moving to LA and I'm going to go there every night of my life. And that changed the trajectory of my life. And it may sound silly. It sounds silly to say it as an adult woman. But when there's a moment in your life when you're a kid where you just kind of decide who you're going to be. And it was the imagery, the music. It was, and I always say like, Welcome to the Jungle, the song was the first song that made the hair on my arms like stand up. And then when I saw the imagery of the band, I just couldn't believe it. I was like sold. I still wear motorcycle boots to this day because of the Guns N' Roses videos. And I knew that as soon as I could, I was going to move to LA and just experience that lifestyle. So, like I said, I had to film that video there.
Yep. And Zach is on this song too.
Right. Maybe if you remember when we talked about Vinny, Charlie, about filming at the Rainbow for the Golden Gods Awards, that we went overtime for the shoot and they were going to break our legs because we were filming too long, which I didn't find out till after. So you're lucky, Carla, that you didn't have that threat from them.
Yeah, I still got my legs.
Still got your legs. Did you? Was it a conscious decision to do an EP rather than a full record, or rather than just releasing a song or two? Because that's kind of in the middle of what's going on right now with both.
Yeah, I wanted to give each song like a moment to breathe and people to latch on to them. I wanted to make as many music videos as possible. I want to go make some more in LA soon for the rest of the songs on the EP. And I just really wanted to take a moment and exhale. And again, just let these songs breathe. And the next EP is going to be a bit different than this one, but this one was very important for me just to, I guess, come out of my shell again and just be my own person again.
I think the current business model of like making music and how it's distributed, I mean, I fight with this all the time with the Anthrax record that's coming out. Like, do we want to do a full record or do we want to do it this way with here's 5 songs?
Yeah.
You know, get it all, digest it, you know what I mean? And then we're going to give you another 5 or 6. And I just find that people's attention span these days are just so swipe, man, just swipe. So I think 5 is just enough right now for them to take and really absorb, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I mean, gone are the days of people just, I don't know, listening to whole records. It's sad, but
it is. I mean, it's what we've done with Fozzy. I mean, we'll probably never do another record again. Just release a song every 6 months. Content is the word, content. And a weird thing happened. We just released a video for our song Fall in Line yesterday. Song came out in April. It's got like whatever, hundreds of thousands of views in 24 hours. But the thing that's weird about it is most people didn't even know the song existed that are commenting. So the people knew that were listening on Spotify, but then it comes out on video and it's like having a whole new song again. And it's the same one. Like you mentioned, the days of a full record with guys like us reading the liner notes and the times of the songs and all that stuff. It was probably the smart move for you, Carla, to do it the way you did it.
But liner notes are still important to me.
Lots of liner notes.
Yeah. Because like when I was a kid, you pour over
them.
Liner note. You want to know who every person that was thanked was. And then it's fun. Like I would read the Guns N' Roses and I would, just, who is this girl? Who is this girl they're thanking? And
I mean, that was important to me as well, reading the liner notes and finding out who the artist was who did the cover. So just like, especially Iron Maiden, they had really cool liner notes and we kind of took a bit from them for Anthrax and we would just, I think we thanked the world on one record. It was so many fucking thank yous.
That was the trend. It's on Among the Living and it's on Master of Puppets as well, where there's just like line after line after line. And like Maiden, you have to give everyone a nickname, So I remember our first couple records, our first record was so many notes. And then the next like record 3 are like, thanks to the world.
But that's the way it was. And for us, it was very important to really thank the people who really helped this project. And that was it.
Let's talk about you guys as a couple. You guys are very much a very cool, creative couple. There's a lot of Jericho tendencies in that you guys do so much together outside of music with art and painting and so many other projects and that sort of a thing. How long have you guys been together? It's been such a cool ride between the two of you.
It's been like 10 years. We've been living together since 2019. And we've been together since April 3rd, 2015 at 5:00 in the PM. Just kidding. But no, yeah, we met backstage at a music festival, and
Where was that?
in California.
That's right.
Yeah, and at what's that place called? San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, yeah.
And
It was a Knot Fest, I think.
it was Knot Fest. We were both playing, and he asked me why my band covered an SOD song. And so I was just talking to him for a minute. But when I was talking to him, it was like no one else was around. It was like very, like, I've never felt that way before, where like you just zone in on someone. So, and of course you felt the same instantly, right?
Well, here's a funny story, Carla. I don't think I've ever told you this before. I went to, we were playing Welcome to Rockville. Is that the one that's in Jacksonville? Yeah, we were playing there, and I'm walking backstage, and I run into Charlie, and the Anthrax is not on the bill, and there was no Pantera back then. And I was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I just came to hang out for a bit." I'm like, came to hang out for a bit.
About a girl.
When you're in a band, the last thing you want to do is go hang out at a festival when you're not playing. I didn't say it at the time. I'm like, something's going on here, and then that was what he was coming to see you. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
But it's so cool though, because once again, it seems like you guys have inspired each other to do all of these things. You're both great artists, and did you connect on that level as well? Not just musically, but artistically, creatively.
Yeah, before we even started dating, because we didn't start dating for a while after we met. I said, "Oh, I think we're both artists," and we mailed each other artwork. I think I mailed you physical artwork. And he emailed me some of his art. So we went back and forth about art. In fact, our first like actual date was in an art store.
Wow.
Yeah. So we really connected on all of that stuff. You know, it's definitely what makes our relationship so special. We just love making things together.
It's like our minds just go to a certain thing. Like aesthetics are very important, you know, the way things look, and you know, especially designing this cover, you know,
it's great.
Wanted something that had like a James Bond feel that meets kind of Austin Powers.
Yeah.
And something that, you know, that was very every successful band has some kind of a mascot. So the girl, you know, the center is like, it's going to be featured on everything, because that to me is, you know, when you don't hear the band or you don't see the band, if you just see her, you identify with the Violent Hour, you know, like Eddie. You don't have to know about Iron Maiden. You see Eddie and you immediately, it's Iron Maiden.
The Stones' tongue.
Oh, it's the greatest. That's the greatest thing.
I love the cover of the record, and it's got kind of a cool 60s Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Russ Meyer type of a feel to it as well.
Russ Meyer films. So that was a big inspiration.
Oh, wow. I just saw Super Vixens the other night for the first time.
Yeah.
Batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was the 60s, so.
Where did you get the idea for the Violent Hour name?
So I was thinking of a name forever, and then this came to me in a bar in Nashville. And I lived in Highland Park in California. I had this house, and when you live in LA, you know, I mean, I grew up in the Midwest, and you hear animal noises, but in LA, you don't really hear those sounds anymore. You hear sirens. But this little house that I had, there was a certain time of night, you know, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, where all you would hear was feral cats and coyotes, and they were, you know, doing whatever they're doing, killing each other, having sex with each other, whatever they're doing out there. But the noises for these like 2 hours were like insane, like screeching. We had so many feral cats back there. And I never forgot that noise. And to me, that's what the Violent Hour is the time of night when all the animals are ripping each other to shreds, hunting each other, all that. And then also, you know, it's come to mean for me too, you know, being on tour pretty much sucks, you know, 23 hours of the day. But there's that 1 hour that's the best hour of
there
your
you go.
So there's that too. So kind of two little meanings there.
The Violent Hour. I wanted to ask you too, quickly going back to the art. I know you guys have done some art. What are they called? Not gallery displays, but they're called
just art shows.
Art shows. Yeah. There's a name. I can't get it right now. How does that work? How do you do an art show? You just call a paint art plate? Like, kind of explain that. I never really
Yeah, I've
knew much
been
about that.
doing art shows with punk rock and paintbrushes for a while, and basically you get a gallery space and you fill it up with your art. It's a lot of work, and but we spent a lot of time painting together during the pandemic. I've been an artist for years, so I've got a ton of work, and then you just ship it out to the gallery and they slap it on the walls, and you have a show. But we spent a lot of
A
time
lot of time.
making art together during the pandemic.
But there was inspiration too for it. Now, I haven't touched a brush or anything in like months now because I've just been so
we've been focusing on this
so
stuff,
busy
yeah.
that it's something that once everything starts to calm down, I'd like to get back into creatively doing some art, and but I have a Pantera tour coming up, starts next week, which I'm looking forward to because we are changing the set big time.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of additional songs that people are going to be like, what the hell? They're playing this. That kind
It's kind of the time for that, though, I think, right? After the first couple of years of touring.
Yeah, because, when we first started, it was the standards that you had to play. Now I think we got those, out of the way, and, now we could reintroduce some other songs, and we're super excited. We rehearsed last week in Denver, and when we were playing these new songs, we all had smiles on our face. It sounded so good.
There's nothing better when you're in a band than adding some new songs. And even if you just take the song that you were opening with for 2 years and put it like in the middle of the set, it's just like, so exciting.
It's new life. It brings to it.
Art exhibition was what I was looking for. That was the word I was just So Carla, let's talk about what you want to do for a tour standpoint. Obviously, you can't clone Charlie and have 5 Charlies on stage or 4 Charlies on stage. So now you have to start the new audition process.
Yeah, so I already have, and I think we've got 90% of the band together. They've been rehearsing, and should I say it's all girls.
I was going to ask. That's great.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be in a girl band, an all girl band. And that's really exciting. And it's perfect for the, But yeah, it was a goal, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it happen at times. And now the last couple days, I feel like I'm really on the same page with some people. And and so we've got shows with Buck Cherry booked, 2 back-to-back at the Whiskey, which, like, how cool is that to have your first couple shows at an iconic venue with Michael Monroe and Buck Cherry? How perfect is that? So
it's amazing.
Super.
No, it's cool. We were doing a show the other day about the greatest American bands in history. And I mentioned the Go-Go's, just how fucking cool the Go-Go's are, and they still are. And I was like, you had like Vixen, who still plays, but there hasn't been a new all-girl band in a long time. Not as a gimmick, but just the concept of it. I've always liked that. So I think it's cool that you're doing that.
That was in my head from the start. That's what I thought it should be. 5 badass fucking chicks out there. Like, when guys take notice and they're like, holy shit, these girls are fucking good.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Because I saw, like, Olivia Rodrigo has all girls, and that band fucking kicks ass. Pink is another one.
Okay.
And I'm like, these girls fucking rock. So that's in the back of my mind. It's like, that's what is going to happen. That's what the Violent Hours should be.
Yeah, it stands out too, because we've got a lot of female singers with male bands. If you're looking at Arch Enemy, or if you're looking at Hailstorm, etc. This is something else that I think helps you stand out a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Let's talk, and we can't not talk about this. You guys were both just there this past weekend, the Back to the Beginning celebration of Ozzy and Sabbath. What an unbelievable day, and just kind of tell us about your experiences there, because gosh, I mean, Charlie played, Carla was there. Just kind of give us some thoughts and some experiences that you had there.
It was nice for me to go and be a fangirl because I just got off tour with Lords of Acid and literally got on a plane and went to, with him. And it was just so cool. Of course, to see him, kill it as always.
Double duty.
All these people, like, it's pretty surreal.
It was
actually.
The one thing for me that stood out was every band on that bill left whatever ego it was, left home, and everybody when they saw each other, like, bro, they were so excited about being there and what this represented. And it's like I said this from the start that Black Sabbath were the one band. There were a few bands for me growing up, but they were in the top 3 that gave a lot of us this purpose or find our purpose in life. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be this. I want to do this. And that band was one of the bands for me. And a lot of those guys who were playing that day, that was the band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roses was there.
For Carla, it was Guns N' Roses.
I love Black Sabbath.
But Black Sabbath, if it wasn't for them, may not have been a Guns N' Roses. You know, I always said that song "Zero the Hero"
have been a lot.
Sounds a little like Paradise City.
Good call.
So, and Guns N' Roses were great that day too.
Yeah,
awesome. But every band was great, and that's what I mean. The backstage vibe, everybody was happy. There was no asshole that day. It was just fucking great.
I loved it because I got into metal in '82, so Sabbath was already done. I had to do some backtracking, but Ozzy has always been my guy. Like, that's inspiration, hero, as crazy as he is, as we all are. So just to see him and once again, I was laughing because Ozzy is not easy to sing. And there was a lot of the greats who went up on stage that didn't quite nail it because Ozzy is a hard guy to sing like. But no one realizes that until you try and sing it. It's so high. His tone is perfect. He never wavers. He's got zero vibrato, so you got to just stay right on it. He's a lot like Sting in that way. So, I mean, just to see him, and even in the condition he's in, just to watch him just belt out those tunes and freaking nail it, probably better than he did 10 years ago. It was really cool to see just the whole celebration. And I was, of course, proud of you, Charlie, to be there, double duty. Did you get a chance to talk to anybody backstage? I mean, obviously you got to meet Ronnie Wood. Let's talk about that. How cool that was.
I saw Ronnie, and I remember meeting Ronnie years ago at an airport. He had his whole family with him, and that was great and everything. But this time he came in, and for me, it just hit me a little more, right? Because it's like, there's Ronnie Wood coming in, and then he stopped and we talked a bit. And I told him about the show we went to in Chicago and what we felt and what the thing about Mick letting the music take over. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah, man, that's what it's all about. The music,
Said he was bouncy.
Yeah, just Ronnie. And then the Steven Tyler moment.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler killed it too.
Yeah.
Killed it. He was so great.
Squeezed my hand and I almost died. I was like, this is crazy.
Steven did or Ronnie did?
Ronnie.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But Steven was awesome. And just meeting people that you never thought that you would kind of be in the same room with, and then you're staring at them and it's like, wow, this is one of my idols growing up and still are.
It's one thing I love about Charlie is that you love meeting people. Even though you are who you are, you still love just
I appreciate what they gave.
He's never lost. And I don't think I have either. We're both very childlike and oh my God, I can't believe that person's right there. We're both very,
we're all still fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lose that, you're done.
You're done. Like, I was watching the backstage video of the photo shoot, and you can see Hetfield sitting next to Ozzy. I think he's on the side of his chair, and he's got that smile on his face like you would have when you were 10 if you got to meet Ozzy. We all still have that vibe, which is so important.
I'm still bummed I wasn't at that shoot. I was in Cardiff playing the show.
Yeah. Have you ever got a chance to meet Guns N' Roses before? Anybody in the Guns N' Roses, Carla?
Yeah, I mean, I've met met them all. Slash, actually, when I was young and had first moved to LA, he happened to be at the Rainbow one night, and somebody pushed me down next to him, and he was so kind to me. He saw that I was like felt awkward, and he's like, "Don't treat her like that." But, she's so that was really cool. But we've played shows with Slash. So I've met him. I did meet Axl one time, and it's a really funny story that I can't repeat. So, but I've told all my friends, so they all the story. It's really funny.
Back in the day when we would play shows, Slash and Steven would come to the shows. And I remember when Guns N' Roses played the Ritz in New York, I was there. And then after the show, went to the dressing room, knocked on the door, and Axl opened it up. And he's like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" And I said, "Is Slash here?" And he's like, "Slash." And Slash was wearing that Anthrax shirt with
that's cool.
The black and white that I did. And it was just,
Slash actually wore a Butcher Baby shirt in a documentary once. And
oh, wow.
I saw it, and it was like, what the hell? Like, that's monumental. That was cool.
Slash and I have a lot in common from what people tell me. He's a huge Jaws fan. And,
big time.
Things like that. And so
horror movies.
Yeah, horror movies. But we never had a chance to just sit down and just bullshit about it, which is something I'd love to do. I just want to make one other point about the Sabbath thing. Ozzy, the third song he did, I think, was Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's when I kind of lost it a bit.
Yeah.
I really choked up because it made me realize that this is it. This is over. Yeah. That's it.
For me, it was Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Mama, I'm Coming Home, which was after that. But Mr. Crowley, to me, I don't know what it was about the song, but it made me reflect on people in my life that are gone. And, it's like when I went to see Ozzy for the first time, I was young. I wasn't in a band or anything. It was Ozzy. And that's the one thing, too, about those guys back then, like Ozzy and Keith Moon. They did these things because they weren't all there. They were crazy.
Yeah, they're off the rockers. Exactly.
Off the rockers. Nowadays, people make believe they're crazy, but back then it was real. Ozzy was Ozzy. And nobody will ever, ever be Ozzy. Nobody.
Never. And I for me, it was Crazy Train, where I was like, we're never going to see this signature song done by him ever again. And I think I told you this before, but I was a big Beatles fan when I was in elementary school, when the Beatles weren't really popular. And it was kind of nerdy to be a Beatles fan, as crazy as that is, but it was 1981, whatever. So when I got into high school, all the hot girls were wearing, Ozzy shirts, Maiden shirts, Scorpion shirts. So I said, I got to go try this out. So I bought Blizzard of Oz for $2 at a used comic shop. And I played it. Starts with I Don't Know, goes into Crazy Train. What's the third song? Goodbye to Romance. And I was like, this is a fucking Beatles song.
Perfect.
And I understood right there that Ozzy loves the Beatles, and that was the connection that I needed. So, yeah, it's so cool you guys got to go there and see that. But
it was in my my whole career. It's like my top 5. It's in my top 5 of things that it was like Live Aid for
yes,
it was.
It so was.
That's special, and everybody felt it too. Yeah. Everybody felt it.
Carla, as we start to wind down, my son goes to Vegas with his friends. Our friend Red Cup Jeff takes him out in the town with his son. They go to Little Miss Nasty, who are opening for Lords of Acid. And I was like, oh my gosh, Carla's singing. I knew that you were. But I told Ash, that's my friend's fiance. She's my friend as well. But Lords of Acid, how did that come together? Because here you are once again, 1 year ago, you're sad and disappointed, and now you got a great solo record, and you're in the Lords of Acid. I mean, I think you've kind of refound your whole career.
It was so much fun. And after the show, I'm like trying to get back to the dressing room, which is in a different building. And I saw your son, and I was like, oh my God. But it was so much fun. And I loved Lords of Acid when I was a teenager. I was that kid that loved Guns N' Roses, Lords of Acid, and Pantera and the Riot Grrrl stuff. I was obsessed with them. I used to sneak out and go to this club in Detroit called the City Club. and they would play this, this house music and this industrial music, and it was really like a new sound for me. And the lyrics are very tongue in cheek. They're very sexy lyrics, but it's all like just again tongue in cheek. The creator Praga Khan, we had many conversations on tour about how he loved Benny Hill. And so, you go to a Lords of Acid show and there's rubber dolls flying around the crowd. And it's like comedy meets this really sexy industrial music. And I just became a different person on the stage. Like, you came to see a show.
It was great.
And it was, and also thank God I've been singing so much this past year, because
Right.
those are some hard songs to sing. If you don't know Lords of Acid, like, they have some pretty diva singing moments on their songs. So it was a whole nother experience.
I flew to LA to see her, and I had no preconceived, I don't know what was going to happen with him.
He comes in the dressing room and the techs are blowing up the rubber dolls for tonight's show, right? And then one of them says, "Don't these look like Carla?" Because they have faces. And I'm like, God.
And they did.
I'm like,
I bought a few, but
I was like, let the man get adjusted first.
But when they came on, and it was just like, wow, this girl's a star. I was just so blown away by it. It was great. So I can only imagine what this is going to be like.
Yeah, I definitely like being on stage and performing those songs. I wanted to lose myself every night in the music that I loved since I was a kid. I just wanted to just do whatever I wanted to do. Every night I was crowd surfing. I was jumping in the crowd. I wasn't like
Mick Jagger.
I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried about how I looked. I just wanted to like feel it. And it was
Let
awesome.
the music take you over.
Yeah, music take you over. Absolutely.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
Last few questions for you. Charlie, you mentioned new Anthrax. We've been waiting for a long time. So next year, we're looking at possibly?
Yeah, we're going to release a song the end of this year to give people a taste of what's to come. I just finished the album cover, and that is fucking trippy as hell.
Did you do it?
I designed it.
Gotcha.
With this artist who is killer. He, David Blaine, the magician. Yeah. He did a 6-part series recently, and Mark, the artist, he did a lot of the conceptual art for it. And it's so weird how things happen to me. It's like I was looking for an artist, and I'm watching this David Blaine documentary, and there's this art.
That's exactly what you wanted.
Which is exactly what I wanted for and contacted him, and he loved the idea, and he was a fan. So it's so crazy how things just work out that way, So I'm really happy about that, and I'm really happy about this. The one thing about this record, the last song on this record, which is The Violent Hour, is probably my favorite song on it. And the way it came together was just like it wrote itself. And I think you even said the same thing. I think it's the best song that we ever did.
Yeah.
I've been planking a lot. I plank 6 minutes twice a day to a song, and I planked to The Violent Hour song today. It's 5:30, but then I started it again after 30 seconds. I reminded me of Mother Love Bone. It's got a Mother Love Bone vibe to it, and I thought it was excellent song. So
thank you,
Carla. So now you're Violent Hour on tour. Are you doing a lot of touring? Are you still to do some stuff with Lords of Acid? Kind of what's the plan for you for the next little bit?
I definitely want to keep doing some stuff with Lords of Acid, because it was just, it's so much fun. And I'll probably do an album with them. They want to make one, last big album. And they're, awesome. I mean, Praga Khan is iconic. And so of course I would love to do an album with them. But definitely going to focus on touring for The Violent Hour. Got some tricks up our sleeve for next year, and I'm just so excited to have my life filled with music again.
What do you do when you play live? Like when I saw Duran Duran the first time, they didn't have enough songs, so they had to play Hunger Like the Wolf twice.
Oh, you
can play the EP twice?
No, obviously the first couple shows we'll have a short set, But we have so many songs. We've got enough for another EP. Yeah, we've got a ton of songs. So it's been we've been, you know, kind of quiet about it, but we've been the last year we've written a ton of stuff.
Like this EP has more of a rock metal feel to it. The next one will be a little more aggressive with a curveball in it too.
That's great. Well, last question. What's your favorite song on the first EP?
Mine's The Violent Hour.
Wow.
I think The Violent Hour is my favorite too, followed closely by
Hell or
Hollywood.
I like Sick Ones.
Yeah.
So there you go. Pretty much, we covered 60% of it right there.
And you know, the Loretta Lynn song too is just great, which features Brandon from Crowbot. That's another great song.
Oh, I didn't know that's a Loretta Lynn song. Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, that's a
how do you pronounce it? Oregon or Oregon?
Oregon. I say Oregon.
Yeah, my wife says Oregon. I'm like, no, it's Oregon. She says Oregon. But I didn't know it was Loretta Lynn. So there you go. It's a great tune as well.
It's the record that Jack White produced for her. And he sings on it too. And Jack White came to one of the Pantera Metallica shows. It was in Nashville, and I got to meet him. And I'm such a big fan of Jack White because that guy that's a musician. That's an American musician. Yeah. And the things that he does are just so, it's very smart, but very much from the heart. So I want him to hear the cover, and I told him about it too. So I got to get him a copy.
Well, that makes sense. I was wondering why Carla was singing about gin fizzes.
And having a one-night stand.
In Portland, Oregon.
Well, guys, it's always great to talk to you, and congratulations on creating a great new album, a great new project, and I'm looking forward to hearing more in the future from you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. Appreciate it.
We'll see you soon. You know where. Love you too, guys.
Love you, man. Take care.